Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the official launch event of the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge, a global call for innovators who are developing science-based agri-tech solutions that cater to the context and specific market demands of Egypt, and that harmonize with the country's objectives in the 2030 Sustainable Agricultural Development Strategy, aiming to modernize the agriculture sector through improved resource efficiency, the application of modern technologies, and the promotion of agri-industrialization while aligning with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. I am Rima Safar, your moderator for this event, and on behalf of CGIAR's Accelerate for Impact platform, I welcome you all to the launch event of the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge. Powered by CGIAR's Accelerate for Impact platform and co-organized with CGIAR centers, the Alliance of Bioversity International and CIAT, ICARDA, IWMI, and IFPRI, and the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology of Egypt. This project is endorsed by the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research of Egypt and supported by PRIMA, Climate Resilient Africa Fund, Alex Bank, Syngenta Foundation for Sustainable Agriculture, and CGIAR initiatives and units operating in the MENA region. As part of our agenda for today, we will begin with a short video highlighting the proceedings of the consultation workshop that took place in Cairo last month with key stakeholders of the agritech innovation ecosystem of Egypt. Then we will move on to welcoming remarks from two esteemed speakers representing CGIAR and the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology. Following that, and you will get a chance to learn more about AgriTech4Egypt, its goals, objectives, design, and the benefits it offers to participants. After which we will have the honor of hearing from experts of our partners for this project. We will delve deep into how agritech initiatives can support the growth of agritech startups in Egypt. Now, before we move on, I would like to invite you all to watch this short video of the highlights of the consultation workshop that took place last month. Thank you all for paying attention to the video. Now we will move on to our opening remarks for today's event. We have two esteemed speakers representing partner organizations. We have Giampiero Menza, Senior Manager of Partnerships and Innovative Finance from CGIAR Accelerate for Impact platform. And we also will be having Professor Gina El-Fiqhi, Acting President from the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology of Egypt. Giampiero, I will hand over the floor to you.
And thank you, Rim, and good morning to you all, and welcome to the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge 2024. It has been quite a journey. This is part of CGIAR Fragility to Resilience Regional Integrated Initiative. As already mentioned by Rim, this project represents a collective effort by many national and international institutions. And I want to take this opportunity to thanks the Ministry of Higher Education, the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, Alex Bank, the Climate Resilient Africa Fund, and the Syngenta Foundation for Sustainable Agriculture. So it's been quite a journey, as I mentioned, and for us it was important to create an enabling environment. We have been working on this initiative for quite some time. So this launch represents really an important moment for us. What we wanted to achieve is to ensure we could bring together the ecosystem, and scout, select, test, and validate, and transfer knowledge and technological solutions that enhance the sustainability, resilience, and efficiency of agricultural systems in Egypt. Over the recent years, Egypt and its agri-food tech sector seems like that it's flourishing. Data in different reports is showing like that interest in this sector and the youth involved in the jobs created and the economic opportunity that's bringing to Egypt. It's kind of creating a very positive moment for the country, and it's actually positioning this as a dynamic hub for the development of such solutions in North Africa. So this represents an opportunity for all of us, and this is also thanks to the effort that the Egyptian government put together to a number of policies that brought together the ecosystem, and the number of institutions that are playing a key role, such as universities and research institutes, the incubators, the accelerators, the venture capital firms, and the corporate players that are all playing a key role in a country. So what the problem is in terms of what we are trying to address through this project is to better valorize and better connect solutions that already exist with the market. So we're really trying to close this gap between lab and the market. And despite the promising solutions with significant market potential that we see, we don't see much, support, to really help this pre-seed or seed stage type of innovation to connect to the final user. So as Egypt landscape evolves, there are two critical issues that we want to address, is to ensure that we can prioritize farmer-centric innovation and enhancing access to these innovations. So our objective is to close this divide, accelerate the journey of innovative ideas from conception to market-ready solutions through this effective market mechanism that we are putting in place through the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge. Finally, this is a call to action for all purpose-driven innovators with viable ideas, solutions ready to be deployed in a market. And we want to use this space to really open the door, use this space as a gateway to attract national and international solutions that can be deployed in the market. Now, I encourage you all to spread the message of this important opportunity and to apply. And I would like to thank you all for attending this launch event. Over to you, Rim.
Thank you very much, Gianpiero, for your welcoming remarks and for your insights on this project. I will be handing over the floor to Professor Gina Al-Fiqhi, Acting President of the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology of Egypt. Professor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Rim. Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure, an honor actually, to be available today while we're launching the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge 2024. Before I would start my welcome speech, I would like to thank everyone who's on board and who paid the effort and the time for this challenge to be real and for all of us to be here today launching this challenge. Special thanks to the team of the CGIAR. Your efforts and preparations are actually tremendous. Since I'm representing the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, please allow me to give you a brief on what we do here to support the innovation ecosystem in Egypt, and how would this innovation challenge, the AgriTech Innovation for Egypt Innovation Challenge, totally meet strategies and policies played by the ASRT. So the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology is the national think tank of the country, actually. We provide strategic roadmaps, studies and plans for the policymakers and decision makers in order to base their decisions on scientific evidences. On the other hand, you could consider us as a kind of funding agency. However, we're not just a mere funding agency. We fund only projects or initiatives or ideas that meets the strategic needs of the country, or that would be of benefit for fulfilling the needs of the country and meeting with the strategic plan of the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research as well. So if we're talking today about the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge, actually we believe that it's a very important tool to provide essential funding and investment opportunities to the agri-tech startups in Egypt. This support can help startups develop and scale their innovation, ideas, and technologies. Also, as we in ASRT, whenever we fund an idea or an innovation, and this idea or innovation proves itself worthy or proves itself of success, we do incubate and maybe accelerate this idea up to the point where it is ready to go to the market, and even we do the marketing process in order for this idea to be a real life outcome. So I think that this challenge would assist startups in accessing the market, and this would assess its distribution channels as well. This, of course, can leverage their existing networks, partnerships, and maybe market knowledge to connect startups with potential customers, suppliers, and distributors. Also, through the Agriculture4Egypt Innovation Program, training and enhancement of technical and business skills of agri-tech startups of Egypt would be of huge importance, as it would work on strengthening the capabilities of startups and contributing to the overall growth and sustainability of the agri-tech ecosystem in Egypt. And here it's fully aligned with the perspectives or the vision of the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology. I think that AgriTech initiative would play a very supporting role in areas such as marketing research, customer discovery, product market fit, and go-to-market even plans. Also, it would encourage the collaboration and foster a strong network among agri-tech startups. And this is a very important, actually, point that would allow exchange of knowledge, sharing experiences, exploring potential partnerships with industry players, governmental agencies, research institutes, and others. One last but not least important issue about this challenge is that through the incorporation mechanisms for monitoring and evaluating the progress of startups, regular checkpoints, performance assessments, and feedback loops, this would help the startups stay on track and address any challenges or gaps, actually a problem that we always face. I don't want to be taking much of your time. Thank you very much for having us during the launch today and for giving me the opportunity for this welcome speech. Thank you very much. And I hope this launch would be a start to a tremendously significant and successful program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Gina, for your welcoming remarks and for telling us more about the role of ASRT in this space and in this project. Now we will move on to a presentation about the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge, and it'll be presented by my colleague Claudia Zaccari, a junior analyst at the CGIAR Accelerate for Impact platform. Claudia, over to you.
Thank you very much, Reem, and of course, thank you to our speakers here today and attendees. Let's see, the protagonist of today's event is, of course, the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge, and we're very happy to present and formally launch this, the call for applications with you here today. The AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge is a beneficiary-centered and solutions-oriented project where we are seeking to scout, accelerate and fund agri-tech solutions for Egypt that can harmonise with the country's objectives of the Sustainable Agricultural Development Strategy towards 2030, and of course aligning with the Sustainable Development Agenda for 2030. So the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge sets out, together with our partners, we are setting out to attract global innovations to address Egypt's agricultural challenges. You will learn further ahead that this is a global call for application, so we will be accepting both national and international innovation teams and startups. We are looking to provide deployable, affordable and context-specific solutions to farmers and value chain actors in Egypt. We're looking to connect the startups and the innovation teams with the shareholders and stakeholders within Egypt to validate the market potential and align these solutions that the teams are presenting with the industry needs. We will be accelerating the selected innovations through a comprehensive support toolkit that will combine entrepreneurial training, technical assistance and funding. We are looking to creating an enabling environment that can attract investments in Egypt. Of course, we're looking to empower rural communities, women and young entrepreneurs by giving them better access to resources and the offerings of this project. And on a larger scale, we're looking to contribute towards economic growth of Egypt by creating new employment and a skilled workforce, and of course, supporting to advance the country's agriculture development strategy. So the innovations that we are looking for must fall under one of the 5 priority areas that we have identified. These were identified through an assessment phase that we have been conducting since November last year and were consolidated during the consultation workshop that we had back in February. So these 5 priority areas are digital agriculture and precision farming, agri-finance solutions, sustainable value chain development, capacity building tools, and efficient irrigation and water management systems. And here you can see, let's say, a list of potential solutions that we are looking for, although this is, of course, we are open to seeking for solutions that are also beyond this list in itself. This is just to give you an idea of the kind of solutions that we are looking for. So who can apply? The AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge is a global call for application. So we're looking for national and international teams. So the startups or innovation teams do not necessarily have to be based or registered in Egypt, so long as their solution is applicable to the context of Egypt, it addresses a real market demand in Egypt and falls under at least one of the 5 priority areas that we have identified. In terms of the applicants that we are looking for purpose-driven practitioners, entrepreneurs, PhD students, researchers, and CGIAR scientists are also open to applying and benefiting from the project offerings. The applications are open to all maturity stages, although only early stage innovations that have a minimum viable product and a proof of concept will be eligible for the bootcamp and acceleration program and the wider project offering. Whereas those selected teams at the growth stage that we consider, or through the selection committee, we will consider as being, valid and very promising solutions, we will invite them to pitch at the final demo day, which will be held in November, although they will not be competing for the awards. So what we offer, the AgriTech, through the support of our project partners, these are a few of the awards and benefits that this project is offering. So with the support of our expertise, we will be supporting the teams to develop a profound understanding of the agricultural context in Egypt. The top 25 teams will benefit from a fully funded 4-day bootcamp in Cairo. We will be connecting our innovators to a network of international partners and agri-businesses and agri-food corporates. These innovation teams will be exposed to the guidance of our CGIAR scientists, as well as our project partners and industry experts. The top 15 teams will be admitted following the selection at the bootcamp, will be admitted to a fully sponsored acceleration program. And this acceleration program will combine both the business-oriented training as well as the technical assistance from our CGIAR scientists. These teams specifically under the acceleration program will also have the opportunity to test and validate their solutions on the ground with end users and farmers and value chain actors for the duration of the acceleration program. These teams will receive up to 300,000 Egyptian pounds in an equity-free grant. And as let's say a wider benefit of the participants in itself, they will also be given exposure to national and international investors, specifically during the final demo day. So just to give you an overview of the timeline and where we are with this project. So the call for applications is open and will close on the 21st of April. Following that, we will announce, with the support of the selection committee, we will announce the top 25 teams that will be admitted to the bootcamp phase, which will happen in May. This will be an in-person bootcamp in Cairo, a 4-day, immersive program whereby the teams will be offered the opportunity not only to, refine their business model and their pitching skills, but also they will be given opportunities for an on-field, a trip to one of the farms that we will be selecting to, connect with the end users of the potential end users of their solutions. At the end of the bootcamp, so on day 4, we will be having the pitch day. And the top 15 teams will be selected by our selection committee and admitted to the acceleration program. The acceleration program will run between June and October. And again, this will be an intensive program that will combine the business coaching provided by the accelerator and our business partners, but also the technical assistance from our CGIAR scientists. So what we will do is we will provide those group workshops, expert talks, but also the individualized training, both from a business coaching side, but also on a scientific or more technical assistance session, whereby the teams will be matched with a specific scientist with expertise in their field. And at the conclusion of the acceleration program, the 15 teams will then pitch during the demo day. And then we will also bring back those selected teams at the growth stage who will also be invited for the demo day. And this will be, let's say, the final event of the project, where the teams will not only have the opportunity to pitch, but also it will be a useful networking opportunity for them to connect with industry experts, partners, and of course, potential investors. And the winning teams will also be supported in a post-acceleration phase, and this will be more of an on-demand support provided by, of course, ourselves. So the call for application is open until the 21st of April. I invite you to scan this QR code, and this will take you to our project website, where you can find more detailed information about the project in itself, the offering, the selection process, and the eligibility criteria. Should you have any questions, we invite you to send us or contact us through this email or our WhatsApp community group, which you will also find on the website. So thank you very much, and we hope to find the most promising agri-tech innovations that can support Egypt's agriculture. On to you, Reem.
Thank you so much, Claudia, for taking the time to explain to us and walk us through what this project is about, what the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge is about, and how participants can apply and how they can, take a chance to see if they are, if they can provide a solution that is impactful to the communities in Egypt. I see in the chat people and from our audience are commenting on where they're from, and it's truly global. We have Mozambique, we have Kenya, we have Egypt, and we have Yemen. So many different countries from around the world, and we encourage you all to apply as soon as possible. The links have been shared in the chat. Moving on to our next segment, a big part of this event is to also introduce our partners and their role within this project. As you all know, an initiative such as this would not be made possible without the support and collaboration of a plethora of stakeholders and partner organizations and institutions working together to make a positive impact in this space. Our esteemed partners, we would like to hear from you on your role within the AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge and the Egyptian agri-tech ecosystem as a whole, considering the country's agricultural landscape, technological infrastructure, and socioeconomic factors. How can agri-tech initiatives support the growth of agri-tech startups in Egypt? And how might acceleration programs or a structured roadmap amplify these contributions, and what key elements should be included in such strategies to maximize their effectiveness? I will introduce our first speaker, Dr. Amr Farouk, Assistant to the President at the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology. Dr. Amr, please, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Reem. Good morning, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm very delighted and honored to be part of this session. In fact, ASRT and CGIAR will play a very important role to modernize high-tech technologies for the agriculture in Egypt. And here is the start point of this project. To answer your question, Reem, I will combine my answer to your couple of questions in one answer. Having since that agriculture is not really a routine work as we used to have in the past few years, or I would say past few decades. I would say it's industry now. So high tech is involved in everywhere in agriculture. It's not only a matter of high yielding crops, not only water, fertilizers, everything. It is about Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, logistics. We have seen in the past few years when Corona affected the world, how really the world really start to really, I would say, reprioritize it is national agenda, and food security is becoming again #1 on the whole world. So injecting the high tech, or I would say is affordable technologies to the Egyptian market, because in Egypt we have really a fragmentation of land, a fragmentation of, I would say, mindsets between farmers. We have mega projects. We have very small land farm owners. We have a very good companies in Egypt for agriculture. So I would say in Egypt we have really multiple players playing in the agriculture, and each one of them really he has his own needs. Agriculture now is, I would say, is the topping one of the best example of the Egyptian economy in terms of export to outside Egypt. But nevertheless, we need to have added value to our agriculture project. Using this hackathon, encouraging startups, innovators, we are really, I would say, having a very good combination between innovative and applicable ideas. This is very important, should be very applicable, I would say, because we may have very dreamy ideas which cannot be utilized or applied in our situation. So innovative, this is good to be innovator, but again, to be applicable, to have your economic and technological vision, how to really upscale this project. And number two of your question, Reem, I see this project after a few years from now, because this is one of our dreams in ASRT. We need to have like a science park, having this accelerating program, helping us in Egypt to have, I would say, a science of agri-tech in Egypt, with own startups, with own R&D, startups either from Egypt or outside Egypt. We most welcome. Egypt is really in the heart of the world. We are really enjoying a very nice location, connecting the world with Suez Canal, with a new mega cities in Egypt, new administrative capital, new Alamein. We have really, I would say, a very good package of investment to attract investors to come in Egypt. But to attract the startups, this is a challenge really. We need to attract the good startups all over the world, not only from Egypt, to come work together under Egyptian umbrella. And our role SRT, as Dr. Gina just mentioned, is really to pave the way to those startups, giving them the whole support. And I think in SRT, we can all really play this role, me and myself and my team working with CGIAR in this project. Once again, thank you for the invitation, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amr, for your insights. We will move on to our next speaker, Mohammed Wagih, Project Officer for Agri-Food Value Chain at PRIMA Foundation. Mohammed, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Reem. Thanks for the kind invitation to be part of this initiative, and congratulations for the successful launching of the call and the program and for the event for today. I am Mohammed Wagih. I'm a PRIMA Project Officer responsible for the agri-food value chain at the PRIMA Secretariat here in Barcelona. And I will try to debrief you about what we are doing in PRIMA and how it is related to this agri-tech initiatives done by the CGIAR, ICARDA, and the ASRT. As we know that the agricultural landscape in Egypt is significant, contributing around 12% of the Egypt GDP. And like many other Mediterranean countries, Egypt's are facing challenges such as related to water scarcity, food insecurity, and unsustainable agricultural practices, which result in losing the biodiversity. For all these factors, in 2017, the European Union and 19 participating states, including Egypt, signed an agreement on launching the project PRIMA as an international cooperation partnership program supporting the research and innovation throughout the two shores of the Mediterranean. They allocated together a fund of up to 500 million euro, and thank God that we are going to be extended for extra 3 years with additional 200 million, which make us the largest EU Mediterranean cooperation program. After 6 years, we managed to fund 238 projects, but what is really very important for us is the number of the beneficiaries or the research teams, entrepreneurs, and enterprises that are co-create and co-work together in order to find solutions for the pressing challenges in the region. So we have so far more than 2,300 beneficiaries on the PRIMA programs. Regarding to your question, Reem, about how the agritech initiatives such as the AgriTech4Egypt can support the growth of agritech startups in Egypt, let's delve into the agritech initiatives can bolster the growth of the agritech startups by acting as a catalyst for innovation, for entrepreneurship, and for the sustainable development for the agritech sector through various contributions. In her presentation, Claudia touched the first point, which is the access to finance. And I will not go through this, how you provide this, but just to relate it to PRIMA, we have so far around 35% of PRIMA funded projects. We can find Egyptian organizations such as startups, enterprises, research organizations are participating with their counterpartners from the other EU Mediterranean countries. The second point that can be provided by the agritech initiatives, such as the access to cutting-edge technologies and solutions. In its annual goals, we in PRIMA invest in developing innovative technological solutions such as precision agriculture, IoT, GIS, remote sensing, and water management and irrigation. All these technologies can help startups to optimize the farming processes, increasing the productivity and reducing operational costs. The third pillar could be the training and the capacity building, and this is an integral part to the program of the AgriTech4Egypt, and this is highly appreciated. The other pillar could be the policy advocacy, like the agritech initiatives should advocate for the supportive policies and national regulations and frameworks that can foster the innovation and entrepreneurship in the agriculture sector. The last dimension I want to mention here, which is the importance of the matching and widening your network at the startups. And this is very important. I just want to give you a quick example that in December 2023, we, in a partnership with other EU Mediterranean sister programs and initiatives, we managed to invite 25 Arab SMEs to the Arab SME Summit organized and hosted by the ESCWA in Marrakesh in Morocco last year. And this year, and this is maybe an announcement that we can share with you later, that we are planning for this year, for 2024, to invite a number of the winners of this acceleration program to the Arab SME Summit that is going to be organized this year in October 2024 in Riyadh, in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And hopefully we can see many of you there at that time. Thank you so much. And I hope I was committed to the 5 minutes, and back to you, Reem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wagih, for your insights. The design of this project was built on this multi-stakeholder collaboration that you were talking about, and it's very important to have stakeholders from different parts and sectors of the Egyptian ecosystem, the Egyptian agritech ecosystem, and so it's your presence here, all of you partners. Your presence is very valuable to us. It's invaluable to us, actually, and to the direction and to the success of a project such as this. On to our next speaker, I want to invite Mr. Sharif Kisiba, Managing Partner of the Climate Resilient Africa Fund.
Thank you, Reem. It's a real pleasure to be here, and thank you for the whole team and all the speakers before me. I'll try not to replicate because a lot of the points said before are exactly how we see this ecosystem. Quickly about CRAF. We at CRAF, we're an impact-driven venture fund. We're a Pan-African fund, and we really look at how we can contribute to make the African food system more resilient to climate change, a more secure food system for a very rapidly growing population that will be very soon, in the next decade, the world's fastest growing population geographically. We also are very keen on finding solutions to decrease further nature loss. We believe Africa has a massive natural capital, and we hope to be catalytic in our investments to bring down further loss of our natural capital. I think the continent, and Egypt is a wonderful representation of the continent, and we share many realities that my fellow speakers so eloquently talked about before. The fragmentation of our agricultural and food system, how much it's how impactful it is in terms of employment, and how many of our population actually work in the sector. So I think the continent is now in a transitional period. We're moving away from the dependency that we've had for decades and decades on grants and aids and aid structures, and coming into a realization that we have everything we need to be an important breadbasket of the world. We have the longest coastlines in the world. We have a youth quake. So we have an incredible amount of youth that we need to keep engaged within our food systems. We have the most available arable lands in the world, unused arable lands in the world. So it's all there. It's now a matter of transitioning our system from this dependency, the short term, and I think, to be fair, a lot of money came into the system, north of 1 trillion, but we can't really point to major success stories across the African continent. So now we're transitioning into a private sector, and understanding we need to be competitively, it needs to be competitive investments. So it's no longer patient money, it's no longer developmental money. It's let's bring in the pieces to make this very impactful and change our food system to become sustainable, resilient, and a secure food system able to feed this massively growing population. So what we look at, and I think we're very much aligned with this program in terms of the verticals that attract us. We think that the startup ecosystem is very important because the startup ecosystem bridges that gap between government, academia, investment institutions, and it is the fastest and most impactful solution that we have. So really, I think it's the first thing is we need to bridge the gap. So fintech came before us, and this is a very normal, this has happened across all geographies. Fintech comes and they validated the system, they put in money and they made in a lot of money. Now we have a bit of a knowledge gap because we're dealing with the real economy, and we cannot, and this is something that organizations such as yourselves and programs such as this program can be very catalytical in understanding that the model in which we succeeded with fintech is not going to be the same model that we're going to succeed in transforming our food system. So we have many benefits. We have a very strong digital penetration across all of Africa. We need to look at inclusive financial options, insurance. We need to look at provision of reputable inputs. We need to back, modern agricultural practices in Africa, in Egypt specifically. I was a conventional farmer for most of my life. We used to rely on a book, and the book was very certain when we had rains, when we had winds. That has all changed. And today we need to create a much more resilient food system. In terms of your second question and how acceleration programs such as yourselves can contribute, I think this is very critical. Because we're dealing with the real economy, a lot of the startups are obviously in a very nascent space. So the support that we believe and that we provide alongside your program is helping the startups understand what is their value proposition. So the very basic, do you have a real problem that's fixing a real solution, and how defensible is it? We think you can also be very helpful in market attractiveness. What's the size of your market? What are the main growth drivers? What's the competitive intensity? Who's doing what, where? Also building the correct business model and ensuring that there is a solid product to market fit, looking at pricing and revenue models, and so forth. And lastly, but definitely not leastly, is the investment dynamics. How to structure around. How much money do I need? Why do I need it? What am I going to put it in? What kind of runway does it give me? And what is my roadmap going forward in terms of rounds? So in conclusion, very excited as a Climate Resilient Africa Fund to be partnering with everybody. And we think that this program can really play a catalytic role in Egypt. I will say in conclusion that we were worried when we first came into the scene about a year ago, whether we'd find enough startups across Africa. And oh my God, we are inundated with brilliant young innovators who are very passionate. And in agriculture in particular, you can't work without passion. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sharif, for your for touching upon so many different important topics. I've been taking notes of what you were saying, and definitely, inclusive financial options, modernization of agri practices in Africa are so important. And one thing that really makes this innovation challenge, what makes AgriTech4Egypt different and what really sets it apart is that it is science-based. We care about the science, and we are ready to curate a program to your needs, to the needs of whatever innovation or solution that you have applied with. So, we provide both the scientific and the technical expertise and the business knowledge according to your needs. And what we don't find that often. We really need to focus on the science, because that is how we can modernize our agri-food practices. On to our next speaker, I want to invite Sunil Hamdev. C2B Relationships Manager at the Syngenta Foundation for Sustainable Agriculture. Sunil, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Reem. Thank you, everybody. First of all, good afternoon, good morning, depending on which part of the world you all are in. It's been an honor to be invited to this forum. Pleasure to hear the fellow panelists and see the wide panel that you have put together and the partnerships that have been done. So I represent the Syngenta Foundation, and the goal and the policy of the Syngenta Foundation is very apt to what this whole topic is about. It is about implementing the gaps between the research and innovations and delivery to the smallholders. And I think that's extremely key, is that how do we actually bridge that gap? So there is a couple of things that I would like to say that, there within the ecosystem that we're talking about innovations, there is a big opportunity. Agriculture technology is developing rapidly, improving farm productivity across in the developed world, providing returns to the agtech entrepreneurs. But the smallholder farmers in the emerging markets represent a very untapped opportunity. How do we reach them? Although each farmer works in a very small area, the numbers are so large that this can be a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, especially for the startups and the ecosystem that we are bringing together out here. So this is the biggest opportunity, is that there is a huge untapped market out there, and the marketplace at this moment of time is concentrating in the developed world, but in the global south, how do we address it? So the challenge being is that the most of the agri-tech companies find that the marketplace is a little too risky for them to target the smallholders. How do we get in there? How do we actually develop agtech which will really be rewarding for the startup system and the technologies out there? So one of the key things is this panel and this whole forum which has been put together is that on one side we have got all the technologies, on the other side is the marketplace. How do you bridge that gap? And I think that catalytic, I think Sheriff spoke about it, the fellow panelists also spoke about it, is that we need to have that catalytic effect on bridging that gap to bring them together. Though the market is fragmented, how do we create that ecosystem? And I think this is a great step forward in creating that ecosystem, which is one of the key things that the foundation had put together through a digital platform, where they said that on one side were the technologies, on the other side was the marketplace, and how do we bridge that? And we were working very closely to creating that ecosystem. Now, some of the factors which affect and which would make a big difference in enabling this, and this is one of the initiatives which is a part of it. We spoke about the context, what the smallholder really needs. Finance, I think, which was alluded to. The technology piece, which is there, very, very vibrant startup ecosystem within Egypt and in Africa, as mentioned, but also globally to address the global south. So that, and how do we offer that innovation and bring it to the market? And I think those are the biggest challenges that we are trying and putting together. And I think with all the partnerships that we are putting together, inviting the technologies to make sure that this happens through incubating, through private capital coming in, we could make this a success. So we look forward to it, look forward to making this a reality, and wishing everyone all the very best. Thank you, Reem. Thank you, the entire panel, for having us on board. And we look at this as a great opportunity for the future.
Thank you very much, Sunil, for pitching in and for joining us during today's event. We are very close to the end of the event, but last but not least, we have our final speaker, Hassan Al-Saghir, Head of Small Business Unit at Alex Bank. Hassan, the floor is yours.
Part of our strategy actually in Alex Bank being one of the banks, we are focusing mainly on MSMEs development, and we do believe culture is a main contributor for this sector development and even a big contributor to the nowadays.
I'm sorry for interrupting, Hassan. The sound is very. I think there's a problem with the internet connection. Can we try again, maybe?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, so going back to what I was saying, that being part of or AgriTech, one of the leading private banks in Egypt, and we're focusing on the MSMEs development, out of which we have the agriculture sector in focus for all of our businesses conducted here in Egypt and throughout our different governorates in Egypt. The idea of focusing on the agriculture came from the essential sector of the agriculture and how it is very important to the economical development of Egypt. When we target the agriculture, we have always three ideas or three components that help us in this direction, which are the ESG principles. We have the dedicated schemes and related products to be available to the agriculture spectrum and to target the whole population, including the smallholders, and to financially include them within our scope. So we do believe that this initiative will help us to achieve our target and help us to support more and more agriculture.
Thank you very much, Hassan, for contributing to the conversation. And with that, that was our final speaker for the day from Alex Bank. Thanks again. Thank you everybody for joining this event and for listening to what us and our partners have to say about the importance of supporting agritech ventures in Egypt and innovations and helping upscale these innovations. We have for final remarks, I would like to remind you all that we have a website. The links have all been shared in the chat, so please make sure to look for any questions that you have. You'll find the answers to it on the website. We have an FAQ page, and we also have a WhatsApp community, so make sure to join that to have more direct communication with us. We also will have we have a country report coming out that will be highlighting the agri-tech innovation ecosystem in Egypt. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions or doubts, we will be holding another session, which is specifically a Q&A session on the 10th of April. So make sure to mark your calendars to make sure to ask us any questions that you have during that session, and we'll answer all of them. As a final reminder, the call for applications closes on the 21st of April. So make sure to start writing your application as soon as possible, because it might take time to put together a proposal and look at what kinds of questions you would have to answer and what the application form looks like. So I encourage all of you to log into our system, into the application form link, and start filling it out as soon as you can. The deadline again is on the 21st of April. And that's all from my side. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you all in our next session on the 10th of April for the Q&A. If you make sure to follow our social media through LinkedIn on the Accelerate for Impact platform to stay up to date with any news, upcoming events, information, and reminders for applications. And I hope you all have a great day. We have completed an hour, and I hope you enjoyed our session today. Thank you all again, and thank you to our partners for contributing to the session and for contributing to hopefully a successful AgriTech4Egypt Innovation Challenge.